Welcome to Vintage Story Aura Fury. This is a series of videos about the first ever build competition on Aura Fury Vintage Story server. In front of me is EconBrony, good morning.
Good morning.
And Funky Chicken, good morning.
Good morning.
And EconBrony runs the whole of the Aura Fury server along with his wife Rammgirl, and Funky Chicken is one of our administrators on the Vintage Story server. First of all, let's talk about where the build competition is going to take place. So where is it going to take place?
Well, on an adventure some time ago, we managed to discover a nice flat area that is quite far south, about 20,000 K. So there's no chance of winter and plenty of space, and so we thought it would be the ideal location.
Okay, that sounds good. And what about the timing? How long?
It has actually just started. We'll be starting in about 30 minutes. We'll allow the builders to go out there and start working on things. It's going from June 3rd until June 7th.
Wow, so they've got basically 4 days.
Yep.
Okay, and we're recording this on a Thursday. So basically they've got Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday to take in a weekend.
Yep.
That sounds good. Now, what building materials or tools are they allowed to take with them?
Well, yeah, we've provided some building materials, but they are allowed to bring tools to include things like chisels, saws, a bucket, anything you would need to do, building type work.
Okay.
Is fine, and also whatever food you need, obviously, to feed yourself.
Oh.
As you keep you going, you're allowed to bring your own food, of course.
Yes, so they're allowed to take food with them. Interesting. And what building materials have you provided?
In this case, we could pop through the portal and have a look. It's at some of the sample boxes, if you like.
Oh, that would be great. Let's do
okay,
that.
Yeah. Okay.
Where's the portal?
Right here. So
if you'll just follow Econ, actually.
Yep.
Yeah, for this particular competition, because it's kind of a long ways out and a lot of people are going to have to be jumping back and forth, we kind of made an exception and put in a creative teleporter that's only going to be on the server for the build contest and the judging period.
Right.
And after that, it will be removed.
Right. Okay. So, where they can pick anywhere here, can they?
Yeah, it's a bit difficult to see because it's so dark, but if you'll see, well, these boxes are in the middle of the aisle, but off to the left and right here, there's a series of lots marked out.
Well, let's do that when it's
more or less identical.
Yeah, we'll have a look at that when it's light. But to start off with, the building supplies, do they have one crate each, or do they take what's there?
Yeah, if you'll take a look,
I
the
see.
crate on the bottom, standing next to Econ there, that's the full complement of supplies there.
Right, so this is lot 1, and then the building supplies. Let me have a look. Oh, so they've got birch, acacia, oak, glass, saplings, lights, lanterns. Wow. Yeah, okay, and that's one chest, and the other chest they've got cobblestone, slate cobblestone, nice, granite, chert rock polished, only 10. Ooh, 10 polished granite, and they've got some lupins, horsetail, yeah, just different flowers, and some clay. I was wondering whether you would give them clay. Excellent. So that's the supplies that they are allowed. And are the rules, you said they could bring tools. Can they bring any tool? Could they bring steel chisels, for example, if they have them? Or have you said no, only, have you levelled the playing field, said no, you're only allowed to bring an iron chisel or a copper chisel or something like that?
Well,
Go ahead, Econ.
well, all the players that are joining for the most part are into the Iron and Steel Age, so we've just allowed them to basically bring the tools that they want to bring. And if we had a player that decided to join, let's say we had a latecomer that is newer, well, we would gladly, of course, help them out with the tools
Yeah,
to bring them up to par with the rest of the competitors.
Okay, so let's talk about a prize. Is there a prize for this competition?
Yeah, there's actually 3 little prize packages that have been put together, and multiple individuals have actually put up the money to pay for it. Of course, myself and my wife are going to be putting up some of it, and then Ilrith has put up a good portion of it. He really kind of caught us off guard with his offering on it. Very, very generous. And then Quentin is going to be making our prizes and is giving us a great deal on those different prizes.
Yeah.
So, very cool. And what the prizes are is a coffee mug with the Orifiri logo and the Vintage Story logo on it.
Ooh.
And then we're actually going to work with the winners on what if they want a saying on it. So you'll actually get to choose what goes on to the mug if you would like, which is kind of cool. Yes, we did get permission from Tyron and the owners of Vintage Story to use their logo for the awards for the competition.
I never doubted it.
And we're going to do a T-shirt.
Yeah.
And, of course, we'll get your size and everything for if you're the winner. And then we have a light-up keychain that's going to have the Orifiri logo on it. It's going to be the prize package. So 3 individuals will get all 3 of those items.
Wow. Because I would just say, guys, that when I heard about the competition, I did actually offer to contribute to the prizes. But because other people have been so generous, I'm being left for another possible competition in the future, and I'll kick in on that one. But, what a lovely set of prizes that is, and a lot of fun. I really fancy the mug. we ought to have that quote from the Bible, something about "do not build your house on sand." Okay.
Oh, there's Drifter.
Right. Well, that's another thing I was going to ask. The obviously the area is in survival. This is not a creative building competition. It is survival building, isn't it?
Yes,
that is correct, and that also means that you are at the mercy of the environment. Now, it is somewhat forgiving down here in that there's no winter, but drifters at night, you're on your own as far as that goes.
And of course, temporal storms.
And temporal storms, that's correct. Yeah,
Okay.
no, it is a survival building competition. So
Okay. Now, are they allowed to take from the surrounding area? Are they allowed, for example, to take down this beautiful kapok tree and use it for materials? Are they allowed, and there's a trader over here, to trade with the trader over here? What sort of trader is it?
I'm not sure what sort of trader is. No, as far as I know, they are not allowed to source materials from the local environment. You are strictly limited to what is provided, with the exception of the grass that's on your lot. I mean, you can cut that down and use it. But
Right.
as far as I know, everything else is, if it's not directly on your lot, it is
Okay.
off limits.
So this is a commodities trader who will sell halite, linen if you wanted to make a windmill, twine for buckets, linen, are they allowed to bring buckets?
Yes, buckets are considered a tool in this case, so buckets are permitted.
Okay. So grass but nothing else. They can't take down these bushes. They have to build around them, or can they take them down for the purposes of building?
They can
Well,
do
and-
whatever they want to their lot themselves, but they
Right.
can't do anything to
Yeah,
the
as long as
surrounding
it's-
areas.
Yeah, as long as it's within the boundaries of one of their marked lots, they're fine. But in this case, there's only grass in all of the lots, so it's even for all the players.
Okay, I
For some
understand.
reason they wanted to dig out dirt or something like that, they'd be allowed to do that.
Okay, and I don't know
Yeah,
what's...
landscaping is
Yeah,
permitted.
of course. So, but they can't take from the surrounding lands. They can only landscape their own plots. So basically, if you want high ground, you'd have to dig a moat and put high ground in the middle or something to landscape just your plot.
Yes, as long each plot is 12 by 15. So anything within that bordered area, you are more
Right.
or less free to do
Right.
what you want with.
That's 12 by
I mean, I don't know
15
if anybody's going to
blocks.
try digging to the mantle or anything, but
Crikey, that's 12 by 15 blocks.
yeah, 12 by 15 for each player. Yeah.
Okay, right. Well,
Or
we'll
for each contestant, I should say.
okay, that's absolutely fine.
And they're
Right.
marked out on the corners here too, as well.
Obviously, they're not allowed to steal from each other. Are they allowed to trade if somebody wants more chert and somebody doesn't want it? Are they allowed to trade materials between themselves?
As a way to basically keep track of what materials are being used and to keep it fair, the only way we could really do it is to say no trading. Just
No.
to keep it simple and keep it down to just the materials we've provided them.
Yeah, I mean, people on this server are actually, I think, very, very honest and decent people, and I don't think they're going to cheat anyway. But yes, I take your point, because otherwise we'd have to be going around counting up the number of the different materials that have been traded to make sure no one had... Yeah.
And it's not particularly cheating that we're really worried about. It's that one of the prizes has to do with the use of your materials. And if we allow trading, how are we going to be able to tell how well you use the materials that are basically been provided?
Oh, so it's not that one person gets all 3 prizes.
So there's 3 groups of prizes. So each person that wins a group of prizes gets 1 mug, 1 t-shirt, and a keychain.
Wow! So what are the groups?
So your first prize, of course, is going to be decided by the community, not even the judges. So they're going to vote for their favorite.
Right, so the
that will be 1 prize.
And who are the judges?
The judges are myself, Funky, and Arkin.
Wow. And so that's 1 prize, obviously, is the judging prize. But...
Yeah, so the judges will decide 2 of the prizes.
Yeah, and then the 3rd prize, it will be voted on. So everybody, you've got to come over here, visit the builds and vote, yes?
Correct, and we'll put some screenshots out too. But with the teleporter at spawn, most should be able to actually come out and see it in person.
Absolutely, that would be lovely. So there's the community prize. What are the other 2 prizes that the judges will decide?
So we're going to do the most unique build.
Ooh.
And then best use of materials are the 2 that the judges are going to decide.
Lovely. So best community votes on the best build, then best use of materials and most unique build. Fantastic. That sounds absolutely excellent. Now, after the competition is finished, will the area just be left as it is, or what will happen?
That is the hope, is to just kind of leave the area as is for a while. I mean, in the future, maybe something could change. I guess it will end up being left up to the contestants on what they think.
Yeah. Or if they don't want the builds that they've done, presumably... Do you want to leave this as a whole build plane, and then in future, if you have other competitions, you use the same area so that it becomes like the build village? Or do you want it actually to become a functioning thing?
Yeah, part of the reason that we selected the site is because it is quite remote.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, you would have to go through a lot of effort to get here through ordinary means.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's the hope that the builds will more or less remain preserved, and who knows, in the future we may use it again for a second contest.
Okay, that sounds great. Well, I will be coming back with Funky Chicken to introduce you to all the contestants and to do an interim video. But just before we leave, the sun is rising, so let's have a look at this area. I've brought some blocks with me. I'm going to pillar up, and I must be very careful. So let's just have a quick look. Right. Wow. Oh my goodness. So it's a street. You walk.
Yeah, it should be from up there. It should be a lot easier to kind of see out the boundaries of the.
Yeah, I definitely think you want to start this competition when you when it's daylight, because otherwise I had no idea, looking at it in the dark, that it was laid out like this. This is fantastic. And so all around, this is a gorgeous area. I would certainly advocate doing, there's chickens. You can get chickens and have a chicken run. And they're not allowed to run across the hills and grab more acacia or pine or all the other nice woods I see around. They just...
No, unfortunately, yeah.
No, that's fine.
Not. You are limited.
That seems sensible. So you come down Main Street and you choose your lot. That looks really good. And as you fight off drifters... Brilliant. What an area. What a lovely, lovely place to have a build competition. Good.
Yeah, it's a nice flat open plain with some nice views around, so it would work pretty well as a backdrop.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, guys, I think I've covered everything. Is there any detail I haven't covered that we need to mention?
Probably the only thing would be the reason the competition that's come about when it did.
And what is that?
It's because it's part of our basically celebration of the 10th anniversary of Aura Fury being around.
I find it astonishing that this server, and remember, Aura Fury is a collection of servers. It covers Vintage Story, Minecraft, Ark. What else does it cover, Econ?
We play Overwatch. We have a Starbound server firing up here next week. We play Rise of Nations, Command and Conquer, Phasmophobia. So quite a few different games. We'll be getting into Diablo soon as well.
Yeah.
Cryofall.
Yeah, but it's amazing because some of the people who started playing on the server all those 10 years ago are still here, aren't they?
Correct. All the founding members that were there when we started are still with us, and then almost all the people that joined in the first 2 years, so the first about 50 people, all but 2 of them are still here.
I think that says a lot about the way you run your servers, Econ. And I'm a really newcomer to this. I only came in with the Vintage Story server. So I think it's quite incredible. So guys, I'm not participating in the build competition. I have never really thought of myself as a great builder. If I'd known there was one for the quirkiest build, I might have gone in for it. Because if you look at Pendle, there's nothing more quirky than that on this server, I don't think. But, one more question. Do they have to build alone, or can they build in pairs?
It's meant to be an individual competition.
Yeah.
Because it's only one award, so if they were to try to build in pairs, we might make an exception, but if they were to win, it would still only be for one prize group.
No, I understand. Okay, that's great. Thank you both very, very much. And guys, if you enjoy the idea of this, and I must say I'm absolutely thrilled about it, do look out for the next video where Funky Chicken and I come back and have a look at the build progress. Say bye-bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.